The Talksport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the Talksport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search Talksport Fan Network.
Hello, Cherries fans, and welcome to this new show here on Up the Cherries in all departments. And as you may know, AFC Bournemouth have released their home kit after a long wait for the 2025-26 season. And me and the main man, Matthew Harrison. How you doing, Matt?
Yeah, all good. My favourite time of year, as I'm sure you well know, and as I'm sure what's behind me demonstrates. Been looking forward for this shirt to come out. So yeah, looking forward to looking at it in a bit more detail.
Yep, and we are going to be reviewing these shirts. So firstly, what we want to do is give a mention to our two sponsors. Firstly, Touchpoint Telecoms, touchpointtelecoms.co.uk for all your business telecoms needs, from Somerset to Wiltshire, from Dorset to Hampshire, and above and beyond as well. Anywhere in the country, get in contact with Mark and the team. And also Dental on the Banks. And here's a little bit about them now.
I should be like you, Mel.
Find them on dentalonthebanks.co.uk. So, like you say, favourite time of year this. It's always interesting to see what the designers come up with. And there's always those thoughts of what we'd like to see as fans. And we got it a couple of years back, especially when we got that yellow and navy shirt, of course, that harks back to the 90s. Is there any, other than that, Matt, in the past couple of years that you think, oh, actually, that was really, really nice? Or is there any that you think, oh, well, that was a bit of a disaster?
No, not really. Not in terms of this. I think, to be fair to Umbro, I think they've done a very, very good range of shirts across the board since they've been making the strip. I think they came in, was it in 2018, I believe they started making the strip.
Yeah, straight after JD, wasn't it?
Straight in after JD, Cabrini, so I don't think they've done a bad strip, in all honesty. There's been some I've liked more than others. I always see the away shirts, like the yellow and blue one you've just mentioned there, as a separate. I mean, the traditional red and black one is the one you always look forward to coming out. You're always interested to see that. The away ones I like to be more adventurous, but also like the yellow and blue one, which you just touched on there, is obviously paying homage to a legendary kit, and I like that as well. And obviously, Umbro did the same again last season with the second strip, obviously paying homage to the very famous retro shirt that was obviously reintroduced by the Terrace, and obviously was made by match winner that Bournemouth wore during 1992 to 94. So they've always done a nice little touch. That's not the first time I actually paid homage to that shirt. The purpley one with the pink collar on the shirt, that had sort of triangular patterns on the sleeve as well, which kind of paid homage. So they're very good at paying homage to former kits. But I also like the home kits to be a bit imaginary as well.
Yeah.
I do like. I mean, like some of the ones I got behind me here, the more traditional, just black,
Yes.
and, red and black stripes. But then there's also something there slightly in the middle, which I thought was extremely creative. I don't think, it was kind of a hit and miss, I think, with the fan base, that one. But that one, I thought, rather than just the traditional straight stripes one season, it's nice to have something different like this one here. I thought this was, I thought they couldn't top this home one when this
I
one
love
came out.
that one.
Because I just loved how the stripes all merged in together. So I like the way that Umbro have, kept the tradition, but also have done a twist on things as well. And I think this new home shirt also has a slight twist, as well as a very sort of traditional look as well.
We was a little bit worried though, wasn't we, about this home shirt and what we might be expecting this year before it was released, because we have got the same opinion really on the training gear this time round. And what's your thoughts on that?
Um, for me, again, the training gear and the training wear, from a designer's point of view, I think you get a bit more freedom with the training wear to
Yeah.
kind of express yourself. Now, there was one that people may remember from a few years back, an all yellow shirt with the sort of green patterns on it. That was really good. It was different. It was different than just sort of like a plain training top.
Yeah.
The run out tops that the players wore to warm up in last season, I thought were, good looking tops. A little bit disappointed with the training range this year. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a bit
Yeah.
bland. I know they've been quite plain the last few years, but I mean, I quite like the green and the different tone of green last season and the ones the players wore. The management ones tend to mainly stay pretty similar, and I think the management should be kind of in, neutral, smart looking training with. I think the players range should be a bit more imaginative, and a little bit disappointed. Look like PJs they've been described as, and various
Yeah.
other. I just think it's a bit boring. I think, a bit boring. I'll describe the training range this year. I know it's not all out yet. I know we've got the warm up tops to come out, this, that, and the other. I know it's not all out yet, but from what I've seen of it at the minute, I think it's a little bit bland.
Yeah.
In all honesty, but I mean, out of the two, I think the management one, that sort of charcoal with the purple badge on it, is nice, is smart. So if I had to buy one, it'd probably be more going towards the management shirts than the ones that, that sort of greeny colour that the players be wearing. I just think it's a little bit disappointing, a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, can't disagree with that at all. And to be honest, one of the nicest ones, in my opinion, even though it was just a full color, was back in. It was actually in the first season that Umbro did, and of course there was with the collar, the red shirt. You've probably seen me in it before, and it had the black underarms. I really like that, but this training gear is just grey. It's grey. It's like that murky green. It looks like, if Bournemouth Beach wasn't washed for a while, to be fair. I just don't like it. I just don't like it, and it should be a little
Yeah,
bit more imaginative.
no, definitely, no, I totally agree,
Yeah, and a bit of a controversial take as well. Very quickly before we look at this season's shirts, like I agree with you. That shirt that you've got on has to be one of my favourites, along with the Lightning ones. And last season's was really, really nice.
yeah,
Probably the worst one that Umbro have done is from our championships winning as well, the promotion season, I should say. I'd like to think we would have won it, but of course, we did stumble a little bit towards the end. But the one where we beat Nottingham Forest in that epic game, that penultimate game of the season, I just think that one's a little bit dull, unfortunately.
Oh, from a home strip perspective,
Yeah, I don't know. I might be on my own about with that one.
yeah, I mean, that one I thought at first, I thought, but it grew on me. That one was a grower. Also, same as that one. That one was a grower on me as well. But
Yeah,
I mean, the first edition of the shirt, Umbro shirt, the one on the end there, the Mansion 88 one on the end.
yeah,
I thought that was a really, really good shirt. I really,
Smart.
but my favourite one out of all of them is the one behind me there.
And actually, that's quite interesting because I think this new shirt has got a little bit of a trend of that as well.
It
Um,
has.
but I tell you what, let's get into it and let's have a look. And you can decide for yourself and leave in the comments below if you think it's cherry nice or cherry bad, like what we've done there. So let's get on with it. So here is the promo picture that was put out by AFC Bournemouth earlier on today. And of course, it was during our Cherry AM we first saw this. Of course, it looks like the players are on the rocks, but the first glimpse of this home shirt. When you first saw this picture, Matt, and didn't delve into the store, what was your initial thoughts?
Firstly, from the sleeves perspective,
Hmm.
and this is probably the only criticism I have of this shirt. I was
Yeah.
like, they look like the same sleeves as last year. Um,
Hmm.
so, and then I thought, I didn't realise obviously the pattern within the red stripes, and I didn't notice the lighter red stripe as well in between the black and the red. So really, at first glance, I thought this was kind of a fairly basic kit, to be honest. But yeah, as soon as you see this kind of picture come up, you know you're eagerly waiting to get into the store and seeing it close up. But I mean, the only thing I would say on here, if I had designed the kit, I probably would have gone red sleeves with a similar pattern that's in the red on the sleeves. I just think it would have made it a little bit more different than last season. Last season's was a beautiful shirt, played tribute to
Yeah.
the famous promotion shirt from 2014-15 season. So I get last season's totally. Obviously, it was the 125th anniversary of the club, so it kind of paid homage to that promotion season, and then obviously the special shirt with the centenary badge on there. It was nice. It was a nice tribute. So yeah, with the black sleeves, I thought, we're a little bit too similar to last season. But obviously, then when you look in detail, there is a difference to it. But the only criticism I would have
Yeah.
personally for myself, obviously not speaking for everybody, but speaking for myself, if I could redesign it again, I would have made the sleeves red. It would have been nice to have more of a redder shirt this season than having the black sleeves. But all in all, it's a good job. But yeah, let's look into it further.
To be honest, I do agree with you on that, but actually, I'd probably go a little bit more further. You know, that it shouldn't maybe be just a solid color. I don't know if you remember playing FIFA 99 on the old PlayStation 1, but you used to create your team on there, and you always had to have a solid color for the arms. And it seems to be the way football is going, that teams seem to have this solid color for the arms. But if you go back to the 90s and look at the actual arms of the shirts from that era, I tell you what, they were a little bit more zany. They would have a little bit more pattern on it. So I would quite like to see, and I don't know how this would, what everybody else would think about this, but having maybe one black band on a red sleeve, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, it'd be different. It would be definitely different to last season's. Yeah, definitely.
The only thing with that, and the only reason why I think that might not happen, is because of the sponsor logo on the arms now. So that
Yeah,
may
yeah.
caused a bit of a clash, really. But yeah, let's have a little look at these shirts in a little bit more detail, and let's start, of course, with the Cherries' new home shirt. So I'll just run through it. It has got a rippled sand inspired striped detail, as you will be able to see from the pictures there. There is a gold trim on the sleeves and the collars, as you can see, and you have got the traditional AFCB initialing on the rear neck. So not as last year, it is the traditional AFCB initialing.
Yes.
Matt, when you saw this further up on the store,
Hmm.
I tell you what, this grew even more on me. But what was your initial thoughts when you saw it in the actual store?
Yeah, I thought, what a good job. Um,
Mhm.
when you look back at some of the away shirts, they've paid like the one you're wearing there,
Yeah.
sort of paid homage to Bournemouth having a beach.
Yeah.
The blue away shirt from a few seasons before that one, which had the pier and the waves on it. Obviously, last season's third strip had the shells on it. So it's nice that we've got a home shirt now that pays homage to the town as well, because obviously famous for wearing the red and black stripes.
Yeah.
It's a lovely ripple, the rippled sand effect throughout the shirt is a beautiful touch, I think. And if this is to be Umbro's last shirt, then I think they've done a cracking job with it, to be honest. The detail with the gold around the neck and on the sleeve, I think that's very neat. It's very neat, and obviously ties in with the sponsor logo.
Yeah.
So that ties in, and obviously with the crest as well, having the gold on the crest. So that all ties in and really just sort of gives it that finishing touch. I know obviously there's the whole debate with the sponsor, which I don't think we really want to go into, but that does work well. But then when you look at it from the playing perspective as well, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. I think Umbro have done a really good job on this one. Again, like I say, I think this one's going to be quite high up on my list of my favourite Umbro shirts, Umbro home shirts. Anyway,
Yeah, 100%. And of course, the actual stitching goes all the way around. It doesn't look like it has the break, which used to be in the Umbro shirts, where one little bit of the fabric on the back would be slightly bigger than the fabric on the front. It looks like it's going to be a complete round as it was last season with all shirts. I know that the third shirt did have the indent with the Umbro logo on there as well, but it looks as if it's all the way round. One thing that I do like about this as well, Matt, is of course the red either side of the black here. The it's 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 not that noticeable until you see it up front that there is like a pinstripe either side of the black.
yeah,
I really do like that. And actually, that coincides with a rumor, which in fact I hope is actually true. I think a lot of AFC Bournemouth fans hope it's true. Actually, I've seen a lot of AFC Bournemouth fans saying they hope it's true as well. Of course, we know that the club and Jim Favola and Bill Foley listen to the fans. So if it's something that's being called out beforehand, for which I know that fans are keen on the shirt that we are going to mention, then it could well be something like what we're going to suggest in a second for the away shirt, or maybe even the third shirt. But yeah, I really, really do like this. I do want as well, just to segue in as well here, Matt, the Premier League to provide us with the gold numbering. I don't want white numbering on this. I would like the gold numbering to actually echo the BJ88 logo.
yeah, can't see it happening, but yeah, I totally agree. It would be nice to have gold lettering and numbering on the back. I don't think they actually produced. Do they even produce that anymore?
They
Yeah, they
used to,
do.
didn't they?
I think they still do. I think, to my knowledge, it's down to the club what colour they decide to put on the shirt.
Yeah.
But when you look at it from a perspective as well, the white with the diamond of the Umbro logo and the white within the crest, it kind of ties in as well. So white won't be drastic.
Yeah.
White will probably stand out better, to be fair, on the back of the shirt, with the shirt already being, having quite a lot of black in it already. I would imagine, from if you're a commentator, you're probably hoping white number and lettering is going on the back of the shirt, to be honest. But yeah, I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And it is going to be 60. Well, it is £65 in the
That's correct.
store. That's for an adult's one. And if you don't like BJ88, like Matt says, we're not going to get into that here. We've spoken to a blue in the face, and it's been going on for ages. There is the unsponsored version for you as well. So I will probably go for an unsponsored version out of preference. Not so much about the sponsor itself, but just out of preference. But hey, a lot of fans are going to want that sponsor on there as well, because it does look nice. It does look nice. But I tell you what, there was another shirt that was announced today, and that shirt was the goalkeeper kit. And this one is acid lime in colour, and it's with a Majolica blue trim. Have I said that right, Matt?
Oh, you asking me about pronunciation?
Yeah.
Well, you've said it how it's spelled anyway, but yeah, it's a blue
Majolica.
trim. It's a blue trim. I mean, this, I've got to be honest with you, this one, when I first saw it, I thought, oh no, I don't like it, but it's grown on me now. And I think now I've seen more close up images of it, I think the blue really complements the lime really well. At first, I wasn't so keen about the badge being the same colour. I was quite pleased with last season's goalie shirts that they actually had the badge with the traditional colours,
Yeah.
like the one last year, which is well up there with my my favourite Cherries goalie shirts. But yeah, no, all in all, this has grown on me now, so I'm really excited about what the other two are going to look like. They normally release 3 a season, don't they?
Yeah.
For a little spell where they weren't, but last year they obviously had the 3 of them out, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to the other 2 colours. Whether they're going to mirror this shirt and just be different colours, or whether they're going to have their own separate designs. That's what I'm hoping for, is that they'll each have their own separate designs like last season's. But yeah, all in all, that this one's growing on me now.
Well, this one is £70 for the adult shirt. Of course, goalkeeper shirts are a little bit dearer. You say it's grown on you, and initially you was like, I don't really like that. Actually, for me, this has gone the other way. And it's not gone the other way because it's a nasty colour. It's because it's the same as a kit that come out a couple of years back. Can you remember that limey, greeny a third shirt that we had? It was in. Was that the last? Was that the season we was relegated? Actually, because we had the blue and the pinky coloured away shirt. We had the really nice home shirt, and I think we had like the limey greeny shirt with the Umbro. You know the one I mean? That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that you're actually showing me at the moment. There we are. That is the one that I'm on about. Yeah, to be honest, it reminds me of that one.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, kind of.
Mm,
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
yeah. So there we are. That's my opinion on that one. But let us know what you think in the comments below. It is all about debate, and there is no right or wrong reasoning. But like I say, there is this strange rumor going around on twitter.com or X or whatever you call it, Elon Musk's horrible website, and that is about a potential away or third shirt. Nobody knows what it is going to be. Nobody knows if it is true. It's a rumor. It's something that everybody wants, and we've actually mocked one up. Is a new favorite going to be back on its way? So is the 1990 to 1992 away shirt on its way back? According to rumours on X, we could be playing in blue and black once again. This could be our new away shirt. Now, there is a couple of things to mention here. One thing that has been mentioned is where, and I didn't have too much time to do this, so I do apologise. And I don't really have the technical capability as well, in all honesty, Matt. But with regards to the actual pinstripes, either side of the black, there is a rumor that it would be white, and I don't know if anybody knows Gremio in Brazil, but that is the sort of style that has been mentioned. In fact, they have been quoted in a lot of posts. Do you like this?
I've always been a fan of the blue and black shirt. Anyway, I mean, I'd like the one that Fila did. Must have
Yeah.
been around 2010. Might have been 2011. When they paid, tribute to a classic. Then, to be honest, okay, it was exactly the same as the home shirt, just reversed. Instead of the red, there was the blue. The only thing I would say about this is in terms of, the third strip would have to be completely neutral, because obviously you wouldn't get away with wearing this one at Newcastle, for example. But yeah, I mean, even potentially, would this be a third strip, and maybe
Yeah.
have a neutral away strip? I think it'd be a nice touch. Like I say, I always loved the A1 windscreen shirt from 1990, 91, 92 kind of era. And like I say, the one that Fila made, about 15 year ago or so, I thought was nice. It's very, very tasteful. So yeah, it would be interesting to see something like this, definitely.
Yeah. The only thing I do worry about is whether or not it's going to be too samey to the home kit, and therefore you got to have a really zany third kit. But it could be that third kit. Let's be honest. The football club listened to the fans when they did present with the navy and the yellow shirt, which is one of my favourites, and it
Yeah.
is a brilliant shirt. It's one that um, I would be absolutely devastated to lose. So yeah, I would love to see this in some form, and this is what has been mentioned. And do you know what? This started the thought process of going. And of course, Matt, as soon as I start messing around with things like this, trying to put fans what they really want into, a graphic, I thought, well, actually, let's try and create another favorite. Now, this one isn't going around on a rumor, but I've mocked up another iconic shirt. So back in 1972, the first time AFC Bournemouth were on Match of the Day, Ted McDougall scored an iconic header in green and black shirts against Aston Villa. Is it time for a comeback? Matt, you have got a story actually though about the last time we played in green and black, haven't you?
Yes, obviously in the 70s, like you said there, it was very iconic. In the late 90s, Patrick, again, exactly the same as the home shirt, just green
Yeah.
instead of the red. But the players found that one unlucky
Mhm.
in the second season that they had it. Because obviously back then you had kits normally for 2 seasons back then. And they found it very, very unlucky. So Patrick produced them in exactly the same shirt again, just completely plain white, but with the same collar. And the
Yeah.
players started to wear that. Bit tricky when you're wearing it at Brentford, because they probably should have wore the green and black, but they followed it so unlucky. They wore this plain white shirt, and
Mhm.
yeah, so it was said to have been a bit unlucky in their second season in the late 90s when they wore it. Me personally, out of the two, I think this is the one I would personally like to see. Now, we put it on the Facebook page over the weekend. Would you like to see this strip come back? And it had mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I'd probably say more negative ones than positive. Um, but yeah, I mean, if we had a blue one or the green one like this, I think it would be a great touch to a bit of history.
It would definitely be different. It's definitely something that I don't believe has been worn in the Premier League before. Um,
Brighton. Now, if you
Brighton did, yes, they did,
Brighton had
yes.
one, yeah, Brighton had one. I thought it was quite smart, actually. Not that I would
Mm,
wear it, would wear it, but yeah, in terms of the design of the shirt, I thought, and it did remind me of
mhm,
the late 90s one we had.
yeah. The only thing is because we have got the retro shirt as well, made by the Terrace, really good shirt. I don't think this one's ever going to come back in a
No,
form of
probably not.
a first team shirt,
Probably not.
but hey, it's a nice little mock-up. I'd be quite happy if I got that under the Christmas tree. So yeah, there we are. If Jim Favola wants to make our dreams come true and create that, there we are. We'll be very grateful, even if it is a limited edition thing. Or, or, or do we go for something completely and utterly different? Would a purple version be something the AFC Bournemouth fans might like? Now, the reason why we've done it in this colour, and we couldn't find the exact colour that was in the league, but there is a leak out there, and it has got the BJ88 logo on there. So it's become a little bit more, likely that it's legit. It looks like it is, it is Croupy that is wearing the shirt. And it's like a salmony pink color, isn't it, merged with white. In fact, I said earlier on, I said it looks a little bit like Refreshers, but do you think we might go for something completely and utterly zany again?
I hope so. I like the more ambitious and loud kits. Yeah, from the leaked image, it's smart. I think it looks smart. I like the color of it.
Yeah.
So if it is true, which I think it is going to be, because the yellow and blue one was leaked in a similar fashion a few years back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I think it would make a nice, second shirt. And then let's have a really imaginative. If it isn't like the black and blue one, which is being rumored, let's have a real imaginative, really loud out there shirt. You look back at last season's away shirts. I thought they
Yeah.
did a great job with both of them. The green one, to be fair, the third one took a little bit of growing on me, but
Hmm.
the second strip I just thought was amazing from the first moment I saw it. So yeah, let's. It's going to be interesting. Let's just hope that the two away shirts aren't as boring as the training kit.
Well, I tell you what we want you to do is put in the comments below which of these shirts that you like. Tell us what you think of the home shirts. And tell us what you'd actually like to see. Would you like to see something like this? Would you like to see the green and black come back? The blue and black, do you hope the rumours are true? Do you like the acid lime goalkeeper shirt? And do you like our home shirt? So let us know in the comments below. Well, there we go. There is our home shirt and lots of rumours as well that are circulating about the others. We will have a show as soon as they are announced. Just hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell button below to be alerted to those shows when they do release. Do keep checking out Cherry AM as well, and do check out all of our previous interviews as well. And we do have some really, really, really good stuff coming up this season as well, including the Dean Court Social, which you should know about. If you don't, why not? Go and find out. Matt, it's exciting times. We have switched places, as everybody might notice there, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't have to wait too long for the away and the third shirt. But we are last to announce a shirt again, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It always gets to this time of the season, and everyone else has got their kits out, and you're like, you really want to see ours, really want to see ours, and then as soon as we see the shirt, I'm then wanting the season to kick off. So now it's going to be, and I know we've got the friendlies to look forward to, but yeah, for me it's itchy feet time now. It's just wanting to get back into the grounds and cheer us on. But yeah, for me, I'm going to on this one though. I don't know about yourself, but I think I'm going to score this one 8.
Do you know what? This is one of my favourite home shirts for some time. In fact, the pinstripe one from a couple of seasons ago, I liked. However, I was kind of put off it as soon as I saw it was kind of like a carbon copy of Huddersfield Town's, and I just thought that's a bit cheap. I can't see this being a carbon copy of anybody's, so I am going to score this a 9. But it could go down if Huddersfield Town decide that they're going to release one exactly the same, exactly with the same style. I won't be too happy about that. But yeah, let's go with a 9 because I do really, really like it. And it is, for me, cherry nice. What about this goalkeeper kit? What would you score that?
Now it's grown on me a bit. I'm going to say a 7.5.
Goalkeeper kit for me has gone the other way. I'm going to go with a 5 for the goalkeeper kit. I'm not too happy about it. But let's see what the other ones are. They are normally out there. I'd like to see a return to the old goalkeeper kits of the 90s where they were just flying shapes all over the place. That sort of thing. That was great. That was great. Let's have them a little bit more exciting all over the shirt. A little bit messy, but hey, it's what. Or do you not think that sort of thing will sell in this day and age?
Fashions change, don't they? And I mean, if you
Yeah.
look back at the 90s, and you can name plenty of clubs, there was a lot of Umbro made kits. And, when you look back at the famous Peter Schmeichel kits, and even some of the Spurs ones, I think, as well, when they were made by Pony and things like that. I mean, even the manufacturing of the kits. I mean, the kits these days are exactly the same as the first team shirts. The same kind of material. Was you go back to the 90s and they had padded elbows and
Yeah.
totally different world then. But it would be nice to see some of those designs incorporated into. And I think you have, in fairness. I mean, if you look back at our goalkeeper kits last season. And even maybe seasons before, like very quickly before we round off.
Here we go.
Here's just a few here that I can put my hands on. It's like this pink one, which I don't think they sold this one in the club shop.
See, I like that one.
This one, and it had the patterns on the arm, but it was just very plain on the chest and on the back.
Yeah.
And then you had something which I suppose you could pay homage a little bit to the 90s with these two, some more sort of designs like that. And then, I mean, this one is, to be fair, is my favourite one out of all the Umbro goalie tops. I mean, and this one, and there was a grey one as well that I've got somewhere, which I can't put my hand on. So, yeah, when you look at some of the more recent ones, they have started to go. I would say this is kind of inspired by that era, in fairness.
Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, let us know what you want. But from me and Matt, thank you for checking us out. Keep checking out Cherry AM. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we shall see you in the next one.
The Talksport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the Talksport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search Talksport Fan Network.